of the European Philately here with us. So it's for the name of both association organizing the evening, the chief and the chiefo. Thanks a lot for your availability, willingness to be here tonight with us. I think Jose Ramon does not require a long introduction. During his presidency, a lot has been done, and we will try to use his experience to understand how European philately is organized and how it can evolve in the next year, given the challenges, but also the opportunities we have. So, Jose Ramon, I will let you introduce yourself and the conversation, and then we will exchange some words on different topics.
Okay. Well, to start, mi scuso che in questa intervista non parlerò in italiano. Mi piace molto la lingua italiana. Come qualcuno di lei conosce, tendo a inventare le altre parole che io non conosco e il risultato può essere una catastrofe. Un esempio realmente accaduto. Mostra Internazionale Italia 2009 a Roma. Giancarlo era lì, la cerimonia di chiusura, osservazione positiva io volevo e disse che intentava dire Piero è molto bravo a delegare il lavoro ad altri membri del team. Quello ho detto veramente in italiano fu Piero è un pigro che passa il lavoro ad altri. Io vedevo che tutti ridevano tranne il mio carissimo amico Piero Magrelli. Per evitare questo, sarà in italiano. Sarà in inglese.
So the first question is about your experience as president of FEPA. Mm-hmm. It's been a long. You would like to state about the more about Piero, or?
No, that was just to explain that in Italian could be a disaster.
A disaster, yes. So we can go to the next one then.
Yes.
So you have been for a long time president of FEPA. What is the most important result you think have been obtained during your period of presidencies of the federation?
I think that it was to create peace between all the European national federations. It was not nice some of the previous years. The climate among some national federations, and even there were insults and bad emails with not nice words. So I was my first idea and my first objective was to finish about that. We are in a hobby, in a friendly hobby that must be. And happily, I can say that I reached that main objective. No any more problems and discussions, bitter discussions among the federations. And also a point that I think that was important is that I realized since the very first moment that I had been elected president of FEPA, but not the capo, not the boss of FEPA. The bosses are the member national federations, the members of our association. And then, well, I try to be close to the members to understand better the problems and be able to help them better. I did a lot of traveling. The average was about 2 per month. FEPA do not pay the travels, and when the organizers have not enough budget, well, I paid from my pocket. Please don't tell that to my wife. But I did with pleasure. Then we did drastic reductions of fees for exhibitions. to obtain recognition and patronage. And the result was that we get much more money. This happened also sometimes when you reduce taxes, because we increase exponentially the number of exhibitions. Since the entire history of FEPA until October 2013, have been celebrated 44 FEPA exhibitions. In the 6th year of our board, 2013 to 2019, celebrated 57 FEPA exhibitions. It was really appreciated.
Fantastic achievement. And what is the thing instead that you wanted to do during your presidency that was not possible to achieve?
I was not able to stop the slow but constant reduction of philatelists within Europe. All efforts we did in young people, create a young philatelic symposium to exchange better experiences, but when I speak with the postal authorities, I see they slowly they are reducing the number of issues, because now the stamps are practically only for collectors, because they use labels, they use other things, and it is. I think that no philatelist stop to be a philatelist, but those who are entering, those newcomers, are not enough to cover the number of those that are passing away. And by now, I know. Giancarlo make a fantastic report, a fantastic study on the topic. And he has explained, it's a report that it was, the intention was philately towards 2020, but it's absolutely in actuality, and it is worthwhile to read the whole report, because it's really important. And he explained the problems, and also what can we do, because what I'm 100% sure is that philately will survive, but will survive forever. How to do in the best possible way is what we are to discuss. Paolo? Paolo?
How do you judge the current organization of the FEPA? There is anything that can be done to strengthen this organization that's so important for European philatelists?
Yeah. Well, it has been, I left the presidency in December 2019, and has been a very unusual period because the COVID pandemic. However, the current team, particularly President Bill Hedley, I didn't know, Bill, that you will be here when I wrote this, and Vice President Giancarlo Morelli, are doing a wonderful job. The board member who acted as webmaster resigned, and yet the president personally looks for news to keep fepanews.com updated daily. Every moment he receives an information, he looks even to have information, and so to have an appealing, attractive, and updated website that I think is very important. Congratulations about that, Bill and Giancarlo. What can we do? I think that we should still working, increasing the FEPA presence
Il parente misterioso con il pubblico a casa, 8 ignoti alle sue
Susan?
No, there was just some interference, someone that was not on mute. Go on.
And I think that for the coming months, to continue the increasing the presence of the European Federation in the social network and in general in the internet world. I think also that the competition between young people with simple and easy rules is important because particularly at the young age, friendly matches are not fun and the competition attracts better. That's something to be think about. And for example, these Venerdì filateliche are a wonderful example for the whole world of a positive way to promoting philately. Congratulations, Aniello, Paolo. It's really a fantastic way of promoting, and you are doing a wonderful job.
Thanks a lot for that. So now we come to a topic that has been discussed many times. During your presidency, the relation with FIP, the worldwide federation, the global federation, has not always been smooth. What can be done to make European philately more listened to worldwide? There is always this complaint for European philatelists. There is like a domination from other continents now.
Well, in fact, the relation with FIP has been good. Haven't been good of some particular person, but as institutions have been very good. FIP has been always polite towards me, always kind, and we had different opinions in quite a few things, and that is understandable. Look at these figures. The American Continental Federation was founded in 1968. Asian Continental in 1974. The European in 1989. Why so late was founded FEPA? In fact, was not really late. The matter was that the FIP, founded in Paris in 1926, was founded by European countries and was considered the European Federation more than the international federation. Then some countries, more federations from other areas of the world, start to create national federations and so, and they needed to have an organization. But there was some people that still thinking that FIP should be like the lost empire of the Europeans, and it was no more. In fact, if we see the circumstances and the culture are very, very different. In Asia, one side, there are 6,000 million people. They are starting in the last 15, 20 years to have a small percentage of the population to have some money, and they like to do what their colonizers, European colonizers, do. They collect the stamps. Now that they can, they collect the stamps. And so the Asia has now a boom of philately. Because that boom, their federations are plenty of money. The post have, I know, for example, Thai Post has a profit of about 600 American US dollar, 600 euro per year net profit out of production, which is very little, distribution and so on. Singapore has about officially $450 million, being a population of 6 million people. Singapore, 6.5 million people, but they sell all over Asia, particularly to China. So they have a very different situation. I did my best and try and get an agreement because it was for us European to participate in international federation was very expensive. The cost of the frames, to pay the commissioners, to pay the sending, everything was extremely expensive. So we try and we reach an agreement on what was a maximum amount per frame, but still having a lot of other expenses. Our present president of FIP is not much interested in this, or in, I think that apart from traveling for free, not for many other things. So, but the good news is that I think that we will have next August an excellent new FIP president. For me, doesn't matter if he is from New Zealand, from France, or from Honduras. What I wish is to have an efficient and a clever and hard-working person. I think that the next FIP president will be Rakov Chirakiti. Those of you who know him will agree that he's an efficient person. He's very nice. Everybody who know him like him, and I think that everything will be much better. I see. Sorry, that the television. I don't know why I started. I will put down. Sorry.
No problem. Un minuto solo che spegne la televisione.
So the relations were not bad. To tell you everything as much as I know, it is very bad at present, but between the members of the present FIP board, not regard to other continental federations, but inside. And so that will finish with a new board. I don't know about who will be. I hope that the Europeans will be represented in the board by Peter Suhadolf, which I think it is will be a very good election, and the president will be, if it is confirmed, will be a very good president of FIP that will help, and he recognized not only the problems of his own area as Asia, but the problem of the whole world, because he will be the president for everybody.
Thanks a lot, Jose Ramon, for this extensive elaboration on this question. And I think especially on Peter has been our speaker and also present in many of those venerdì filaterici. So all of us, I think, will be very happy if Peter will be in the board in the next period. So let's come now to our federation. I think you traveled extensively during your long experience. So you, as a not just president, but as a collector, as juror, and you know the Italian Federation, but which other national philatelic organization in Europe struck you the most and why? And can it be an example also for us?
Well, within Europe, I think that was really fantastic, the enthusiasm with the Eastern European countries that used to have Eastern European countries incorporated into the European Union, who has been very, very good for them, as it is for Spain, for example. And they appreciate very much to have the flag of the European Federation into their exhibitions, seminars, or any philatelic events. The highest members of the governments, of the city hall, of the king, even in the case of Bulgaria, attended the exhibitions, and a lot of people are going in. So in those countries with, say, less resources than big nations, is where I saw a bigger interest than in the, even if then there are particularly many good things in Norway.
Thanks a lot. And what about the extra European countries? What do you see? You mentioned already that.
Yes, already mentioned. Yes. Well, say that Thailand, China, South Korea, Singapore, but it is fantastic to see long queues to enter the exhibitions, to pay for entering the exhibitions, and then long queues for buying everything, special issues, whatever, at the post, queues at the dealers. That is fantastic. I said it's a small part of the population, but if we take into account that in Europe we are 800 million people there are 6,000 million inhabitants. So, and then they are, we can say, new rich. Not everybody, of course, only a small part of the population, but that small part is millions. And so the boom and the most thriving area of current philately is Asia.
Yeah, and I think for them, a part of spending the money they finally now are available for them is also a way to take advantage or really, let's say, show their history, their culture through philately to the rest of the world. No, so
yes, they like to show their history to the rest of the world, but you can also find people who collects thematics about Europeans, about Beethoven, or
correct,
or who collects Honduras, for example. They collect everywhere, and that's good for the world, because in fact philately is international, and they can be living in Shanghai, but is interested in the philately of Bolivia, and that is good for the Bolivian people and for them, because they want to not to be concentrated everybody on the same subject.
Correct.
And at the end of the day, it is positive that the whole number of philatelists could increase, even if by now from the Asia area.
Yeah, overall is increasing. So let's look at. I think your experience during your long presidence let you know how philatelic collecting is evolving, and in Europe in this case. So what you have seen and from your perspective.
Where, Paolo?
In Europe.
In Europe.
The next one.
Yes, evolvere. Well, during our I must say that you say my presidency, but I was very lucky because there was a team, a very good team that first, very important, they are all efficient and hard workers and competent persons. Even more important, nice, very nice person. And as a team, and I must say, here is Giancarlo, no, I don't think Bojan is or any other, but remember that we had not a single discussion in over all these years, not a single discussion. We commented things, we had different opinions, but never one single unpleasant discussion. So is their merit because it was not possible without their kindness. And of course, no disputes with any member federations. I have worked a lot in my time of my presidency, but I must confess, many people say, oh, I devoted my life to Filatelia, or I devoted to. No, I must say, I worked many years for FEPA, and I worked hard, but I have enjoyed it even more. I absolutely recognize.
Thanks a lot. And now we come to our Italian Federation. So you collaborated a lot with the Italian Federation. How do you see our federation and our philately compared to the other ones? And there is any particular episodes you would like to remember about that?
It is. I think that the Italian Federation was quite right, focusing particularly within your own country, and giving importance the grassroots philately, the importance that truly has. And so not only a national level, but a regional and local level. And there are many philatelic societies that do very relevant work. And I have visited many events in Italy at all levels. And there is a point that they have found common at all of them. And it's a very, very special friendship, hospitality, and understanding philately as a real family. Here I found a picture. It's in EPAN 2013. I can recognize this was Bauer. This is
Thomas Matta.
Thomas Matta. But everybody, we had a lot of fun. I don't know about that, but Italy has also a peculiar point, very important, and is that while in most European federations, the chairman, the presidents are the same for decades and decades, you have the advantage that have a very good group of young philatelists that on top of that have experience as, for example, you in the shift, Agnello in the Chifo, many of the members of the Federazione fra le società, la Federazione Italiana, the members of the board, were young people, and that ensured for you an excellent future. Because in other countries, once those who has been for 30, 40, and more years, after them, nothing. So, congratulations.
Thanks a lot, Jose Ramon, for that. I would say relatively young because the time is passing for all of us. And also thank you for all the wonderful collaboration we have with you. We had an important exhibition, FEPA exhibition in Italy during your presidency, since you always backed us and supported us and stimulated us. So that was really a good cooperation so far. So now we come to a different topic, which is we require the more, I think, a bit more time, but it's very relevant and interesting for the audience. which is the open class. You helped a lot in launching this class. How
Yeah.
do you see its future?
Well, I think that at the beginning, I'm still having people who say, this is not philately, and even more with the picture postcards. And I agree, but there are people who like it, and increasingly there are people who like it. So why not giving them the pleasure and let them continue and increase our society with these people who enjoyed it. It was not easy. We started in 2003, and we asked for, there was 3 main groups. Those who do not want any kind of regulations at all. Others wanted to have simple regulations, but not given points for the condition and rarity of the material. And others who were for give freedom to the collection, and we saw few points for the condition and rarity. Everybody wanted different. After that, I must say that federations are not easy to get the answer from federation, but I insisted, and I get those. Everybody wanted a different kind number of points. Albania wanted 60% of philatelic material, while Greece wanted 30% philatelic material. The other one, everybody wanted one different things. Giancarlo very wisely said that the plan, of course, is partial treatment and should not be separated. Well, everybody, and then also relating the awards, so some wanted to put excellent, good, but not medals. At the end of the day, we decided what was more or less accepted for the majority and was presented at the Congress of 2004, and only 4 federations, Belgium, France, Germany, and Hungary, one more, and Switzerland was not, doesn't agree. All the rest agree, so they
it's
were...
interesting that Bernard was not in favor.
No, he wanted what he wanted. What was France?
Special prices, okay.
Special prices, not ours, for example. A medal, okay, but that is correct. Everybody had an idea, and after that, this is the only. I will say, I said that I enjoyed a lot from philately, and this was the only point, only day that I was upset. But I want also to explain you, after it was approved by the Congress, that is one letter. At that time, very few federations had email addresses. So most of the work, at that time I was secretary, was done by post. And I informed the federation that was approved by the Congress, and that, because was decided also in the Congress, will be presented as a motion at the next Congress in Singapore. That was next year in 2005. At the Congress, Mr. Ko skipped the item from the agenda. It was a time to be voted if the open class would be an experimental class within the FEP. It was point number 19, and he passes from 18 to 24. So I said, sorry, Mr. Ko, what happened? He was in Singapore, his home. He was, he is a rich, good manners, well educated, but he was absolutely against the open class. Sorry, Mr. Ko, I think that you missed it. You are saying that I'm doing wrong the Congress. No, I don't say that you are doing wrong, but there is a point that is not related. Number 19 was about the motion. Forget it. Next point. So I had on my side Fernando Aranaz and Paco Gilabert said, Jose Ramon, sit down, sit down. No. This is not correct. I knew that I would lose because we are in Asia. You cannot be against the boss of Asia. But I said, yes, I insist, you must. He said, okay. I said, please, secret vote. He said, no, raise hands. Okay. And to my absolutely surprise, they start raise hand, raise hand, raise hand. And with a big majority, the FIP, mostly Asians, support to enter the open class. Since that day, Mr. Ko disappeared. That was the Asians say they lost face, and he disappeared completely from philately. He didn't attend any other exhibition, not any other meeting of the FFP board. No. And I am sorry because he was a nice person. But
maybe he committed suicide after that.
No. I asked for him. He was an important architect in Singapore, and they told me that he was okay and so, but out of reality, and I was not my intention, of course. Well, and that were the open the guidelines. Here, for example, you see, you said Bernard. Well, for the FIP were Birte King, Bernard, and myself who make a adjustment of the points that are the present criteria points. That was for Prague 2018, and Bernard working in it. Bernard has been for the relations of European Federation and FIP has been essential. Bernard Jimenez. Bernard is a wonderful philatelist, wonderful person, incredible. Only very few people like him. I'm sorry, he could be also a fantastic FIP president, but he's not interested. And he cannot be re-elected FIP president, and he will.
Yeah, I agree with you. Has been always supportive and helped us in smoothing everything when needed. So now we come to what is very important for the shift, which is thematic. And I would like also to celebrate a bit the fact that in Philex, for the first time, a thematic exhibitor won the World Stamp Championship, Damian Legge. As a collector and thematic juror, what do you think of this result, and what lessons does it bring for all thematic collectors?
Well, this is a milestone. And of course, in this milestone, we must express our gratitude to Giancarlo. Giancarlo Moroli is, sometimes I said, is the father, but not only the father and the mother of modern thematic philately. Thanks to Giancarlo, we have the present regulations, the guidelines. His incredible passion for thematics, using his intelligence, energy, and generosity to teach by articles, seminars, meetings at all levels, resulted in that thousands of philatelists, we are enjoying philately because thematics, and at the end, because him. So, Giancarlo, a big thank you again. This is a picture of the first seminar of thematic team leaders. At that time, we were, I think, 8 in Bonn to unify the way of applying the regulations. But when you ask that as a collector, what do you think of this result? I was really surprised, and it is unbelievable that it took so long time. It took so long. Damian Lage was already candidate for the Grand Prix in Belgica 2001, 21 years ago. He doesn't want for one vote. He was in the jury. He had 97 points. And what happens? Well, it happened that there were in that exhibition an unusual set of good jurors. I said good jurors, those who apply the regulations. If they like the regulations, or if not, if they don't like the regulation, they should try to change, but they must apply the regulation. And there, unfortunately, still having many jurors who only look at the economic value of the items presented. It's as stupid as that, but for being to have a large goal, or whatever, is the thematic team who judge it. But to have the Grand Prix is the whole jury. And unfortunately, still having many that don't know what it's about. It's just to look for the economic value of the item. It is this Australasian bird life is an absolutely amazing exhibit. As now you yourself, Paolo, have a wonderful exhibit. There are now fantastic exhibits that need much more. First of all, need money, because we have to put a good item, but need much more intelligence and much more, imagination and more work and more knowledge than for other. And I respect and I like a lot postal history, traditional, everywhere, but not everybody still recognizing. But that's been so good to have this precedent in Felix. I want here to pay homage to my 3 thematic teachers. Giancarlo Moroli, in this picture, are my 3 thematic teachers. In the middle of the pictures, Gunnar Dalvik, here from Sweden, and Paco Gilabert from Spain, who was my first teacher at the beginning. It was in Granada when I was starting. This picture saying, "Congratulations, Damian." I sent to Damian on occasion of his candidacy to Grand Prix and in Belgica 2001. Now, tomorrow, I will send it 21 years later. I will send it again to him for being the winner. That was for Belgium. And being in Home Felix. Here is Bernard. This is Trakowski, for those of you who doesn't know him, what I think will be the next FIP president. And on my side, I would like just to thank you very much. Fare un brindis alla filatelia. Here I can see Luca Lavagnino, Giulio Perricone, Claudio Mansatti, Carlo Giovanardi, Paolo Guglielminetti, Piero Macrelli, Bernie Weston, myself, Marco Capinti, Gian Borus, Claude Salmenian, and so many. Buona salute a tutti voi e grazie mille.
Grazie Jose Ramon, grazie per questa bellissima chiacchierata. Thanks a lot for your answers. Of course, I would like to now ask to our audience if there are any questions. We try to explore as much as possible the recent history of European philately through the different souvenirs Jose Ramon has. And thanks a lot for the nice words about Italian Federation. I do agree with you that the importance of having people like Giancarlo in Italy and for thematic worldwide is essential for what has been achieved so far. Is not just your maestro, is also my maestro. So we share this. I don't know, Giancarlo, if you would like to add something on what has been said. Sei muto.
Giancarlo?
Ti vedo in muto, Giancarlo.
Allora, buonasera Jose Ramon e grazie per tutto quello che hai detto di me. Ti sei dimenticato parecchie cose negative, ma no, veramente. Con lui è sempre stato un modo di collaborare splendido, che è cominciato ufficialmente alla fine degli anni 80, quando c'erano i seminari in vista di Granada 92, con Paco, con Gunnar, con Manfred, con Bernard, e lui è stato allievo giurato a Genova 92, è stato il nostro coordinatore a Italia 2009, ha reso dei servizi splendidi anche dopo come presidente, ci ha citato Paolo, a Verona, quindi veramente abbiamo chiuso con la sua presidenza col botto della mondiale di letteratura, e poi, dove lui è un ottimo giurato, abbiamo lavorato insieme in varie occasioni su questo, e poi anche nella mostra e campionato europeo di filateria tematica. Quindi il grazie è reciproco mio personale e, come ti ha detto già Paolo, a nome di tutta la filateria italiana. Volevo fare due cose, le dico in italiano e poi le traduco in inglese, perché mi preme dire soprattutto la prima in italiano. Bill Hadley, raccogliendo l'eredità di Jose Ramon, ha dato un'impronta a quella che era la struttura portante, il sito e anche FEPA News, di cui non abbiamo parlato, e l'abbiamo voluta rendere il giornale della Filatelia Europea. Non vogliamo essere un'alternativa alle Monde Philatéliste, le Call, lo Stem Magazine o il collezionista o quello che volete. Noi vogliamo essere un giornale dove si parli di tutta la filatelia europea, e non solo di quella tedesca o italiana, o principalmente di quella italiana o francese. E ci sembra che il modo in cui è stata accolta questa iniziativa sia stato positivo. Di quello che voglio dirvi è che dal numero scorso sono stati introdotti diversi indirizzi vostri, di quelli che sono presenti. Se qualcun altro vuole ricevere FEPA News, mi manda una mail col suo indirizzo personale, postale, perché la rivista è disponibile a tutti sul sito, ma chi la vuole cartacea, stiamo facendo uno sforzo di stamparne qualche centinaio di copie in più, perché il modo in cui è stata accolta è stato estremamente positivo. Questo è il primo punto. I translate it in English. Since Bill Hadley took over the FEPA chairmanship, we started amplifying the work that Jose Ramon had already done for FEPA News and the FEPA website. And we have started to put very clearly, our goal is to have a European philately magazine, which should cover the scope of effort, all the geographies of Europe. Not only just one philately in France rather than Germany or Italy. So the answer from our readers has been really overwhelming, and I think that we will continue this effort. We have added already some 10 addresses of Italian and other philatelists have been sent us by their federations. But if you want to receive the paper magazine, please send me a line with your postal address. Of course, the digital copy is always available, as all the past copies on our website. Now we have to change the subject completely, because when we spoke about the FIP relationship, what normally we don't say around, not because it's not the straight matter, is that FEPA, as well as the other two continental associations, is not an active player within FEPA. FEPA and FIP as the same members. The Italian Federation is independently a member of the FIP and member of FEPA. If the Italian Federation, for instance, doesn't like to join FEPA, send a letter to Bill, and there is no influence on the position with FEPA, and vice versa. I think currently we have only one country in Europe who is not a member of FEPA, and I think a similar situation is with the others. So really, they are two independent entities with some context. The elections at the Congress of FIP are elections where the delegates of Asia vote for selecting the European representatives of Europe and vice versa. So if the majority of the Asians prefer to have an European who is not our natural candidate, we have to live with it for 4 years. And that has created some strain in the past. So this, as long, in my personal view, as long as we don't reach a status of a combined organization, like in football, for instance, UEFA and FIFA, but we have two alternatives with some point of contact. That situation will not be easy to solve. And unfortunately, the situation that Jose Ramon has shown for the open class demonstrates that until now, FIP has tried to regulate everything at the top level. I mean, the people of the open class wanted to have something open, free. Our friend Gunnar Dalvik was fighting for that. And then they found a lot of criteria. I mean, those between 2006 and 2018 are a shame, in my opinion, with this separation of concepts between thematic and non-thematic, like that. I mean, they were against the basics. An item brings contribution to the development, irrelevant if it is the thematic or non-thematic, philatelic or non-philatelic item. I mean, these kind of things were ignored at FIP level because they wanted just to use more or less the same template for everything. And that is about killing the one frame in a certain sense. Is also if we don't give freedom to these new classes, easier to attract new people, then we will have problems. I think that these were my main remarks to bring information into the discussion. Again, it has been a really pleasure working with you and sharing your friends overall.
Grazie, Giancarlo. I would have also asked Bill Hadley, which is the current president of FIPA. He would like to add something. It's a great pleasure to have Bill with us tonight. So I will take the opportunity to give him the floor if you would like to share something. Are you, I think you are on mute, Bill.
I felt, thank you, Paolo. I felt I had to intervene at this point quickly to say that, to ask the Italian Federation, please not under any circumstances to consider sending me a letter asking to leave FIPA. That is the last thing I would like to have. Thank you. I was very interested in what Jose Ramon had to say, and of course I agree with what he has laid out for you this evening. It might help just a little if I were to very quickly outline the priorities that we have, the current FIPA board have set for FIPA at the present time, bearing in mind what Giancarlo has very rightly said, that FIPA is a separate organization to the FIP, and that we are quite capable of setting our own policies and our own plans for promoting philately within our member states. I won't go into great detail, but we have several priorities which we will be pursuing over the coming years. And the first is to do with sharing information on news and on best practice, which we do through the FEPA news, through the website, and in every way we can. Because the purpose of FEPA is to bring together the member federations and to enable them to get more benefit by cooperation and working together than they can by working purely on their own. And the second is to promote, just really following on from that point, is to promote cooperation between members where it's possible to help people to do things by cooperating and by working together. Then we will do what we can as an international organization to assist that. And the most obvious example of that in the last couple of years has been in the field of virtual technology, where we have all, as we are this evening, discovered the benefits of Zoom technology and having meetings virtually, which enable us to get together in ways that we would never have thought of doing in previous years. And I think the other point I would make is that we will continue to support our current programs of promoting exhibitions and helping federations with their plans, and of recognizing achievements, so that where people have been able to achieve great things in their societies and so forth, and in support of philately, we are able to recognize that by awarding medals and certificates, which is something which we would like to do more of, but we require the support of our member federations. And one thing that I'm constantly encouraging the federations to do is to communicate more with us. Let us know what they are doing. Let us know what they would like us to do, and tell us how we can help. And by working together, we can do more. Now, in the field of promoting philately, Jose Ramon very rightly referred to the field of youth philately, which is something that we all encourage and should continue to encourage. But we also have to think about other ways of encouraging people to see the benefits of philately, of collecting, and of taking part in this social activity that is philately. And that is something which I think we can do more of, because all too often philately is seen as something for rich people, or something for people who want to do things in private in their bedrooms, or something that is out of date and not interesting in the era of the internet and so forth. And they totally miss the point that this is an excellent means of bringing people together, of encouraging social activity, and it's also a very therapeutic activity. One of the things I most remember is from my working days is how when you'd had a very difficult day and you came home and found all kinds of problems at home, it was really good to be able to go and spend an hour with the stamps just to calm down and restore order to your way of thinking. And that is an aspect which I don't think we've paid enough attention to over the years. because we're always very worried about organizations and institutions and regulations and all the rest of it, exhibitions and all the rest of it, which is all about organized philately. But at the other end of the spectrum, there are, as Giancarlo has so rightly pointed out to us in recent years, there's a small percentage of the collecting world which is involved in organized philately, and then a very large percentage of it which is not involved in organized philately. And these are people we also should be communicating with. These are the sort of threads that are running through my thinking at the moment. Now, none of this is being helped at the present time by the appalling events that are taking place in Ukraine. We have to be aware of that, but at the same time, we have to say that it is equally important that while these appalling events are taking place, we must continue to do what we can to maintain some sense of proportion and balance in the way that we can help people to live their lives. I think, Paolo, I think I've probably said too much already, but, but that's definitely enough. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Bill, for your words. Very important. We are still living in very difficult period, and our stamps will help us on having a good moment to think to something else, let's say. Non so se c'è qualche domanda dagli amici che sono collegati per Jose Ramon o anche per gli altri importanti ospiti che abbiamo stasera.
From my side, per la mia parte, la mia gratitudine de darme la oportunidad de pasar este tiempo con gli amici italiani, in general from every part of the world, because you are doing so well, and this venerdì filateliche that in the most difficult times of the pandemic of the COVID, I used to be a usual member every venerdì, and I enjoyed and appreciate very much. And that is an excellent initiative. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot, Jose Ramon. I do not see any raised hands. I would like just to add a couple of words. I would like to apologize. For the last time we had a last moment, let's say, cancellation of the previous talk with Giacomo Bottacchi, the expert many of you know very well. So we will try to, Agnello, to recover this in one of the future venerdì filatelici. I will also add to pay a tribute for a good friend of us whose funeral was yesterday, Frank Walton, that suddenly died after a very short illness in a few weeks ago. It was very strange event and very sad event, because after the magnificent achievement of London 2022 was his achievement, first of all, because he was the chair of the organizing committee. And I would like Bill to share our thoughts to all English philately, UK philately as well, because we know how important is this loss. On the other hand, we know that Frank, let's say, achievement in philately are so important that we will remember him for many years. And he was still, let's say, exchanging emails about his much loved stamps at almost until the last days. So we see how it's important to keep this hobby alive for having some relevance even during such difficult moments. And I don't know if there is anything else from the audience. Otherwise, I think we can say thanks a lot, Jose Ramon, for tonight. Thanks a lot for everything you have done during your presidency, your friendship and collaboration with us. And of course, we hope to see you again in the next Venerdì Filateliche as part of our group of people that meet so often, much more often now, even if it's online than before, thanks to the internet. Agnello, non so se c'è qualcos'altro che vuoi aggiungere anche tu.
No, i ringraziamenti ai graditi ospiti di stasera, in particolare a José, che ha sempre parole di apprezzamento per il lavoro che facciamo, e questo ci spinge a continuare sulla strada che abbiamo intrapreso, CIFT e CIFO insieme.
Bene, grazie a tutti. Allora, thanks everybody, and see each other in a couple of weeks.